Marker Wednesday review, guys. Get right to it. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat lady Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. If you have not already, like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe notification. Hit that little bell notification to get notified for our movie reviews and reactions. And in this case, TV reviews, which is what we rarely do in the Movie Talk studios here. We rarely talk about TV unless we're obsessed with like House of the Dragons, Game of Thrones,
White Lotus,
which you fell a little bit behind on. But hey, let's get right to it, guys. This is our review of Wednesday series, which is Addams Family. So to give a context to the story, we did a trailer reaction to it. And I was not on board for this. I really wasn't. I was not on board for this whole, like, I mean, just the whole Gomez feel, the way the family, nothing on Jenna Ortega, nothing on the, it was just particularly, who was cast in there as well. So it just, for me, I just felt like it didn't sit well with me. I was all like, okay, it looks interesting. I'm excited. Something different. Another Addams Family live action versus the animation, which Wednesday was kind of drawn very weird. I don't like the way Wednesday was drawn in the animation.
I didn't like the animation.
Granted, I still like the animation movie, the two ones that came out.
I mean,
they were still
like
good,
them,
right?
but do I love them? No.
No, nothing will ever come close to the original not the original, but the remake of the 1991 version, which we do love, which has Gomez, which has Christopher Lloyd in there as well, Raul Julia, and so we were, I guess, essentially we're comparing it to that, right? But this Wednesday series, it surprised the hell out of me. It really did. I was blown away to a whole nother level. I did not expect this to be as grand as it was, as caliber as it was. I feel like this show really had so much of a story to tell. And that's the thing about Tim Burton, because we forget about it. Like, oh, Tim Burton directed about 4 episodes. Then he had 2 other directors direct two each episode, 8 episodes total. And I come out of this, watching this, we binge watched this series. I was so pleasantly surprised. I was just like, oh my God, Jenna Ortega is just, I mean, she's the new Wednesday for the next generation. She is the new Wednesday to come. She is the new dynamic character of Wednesday we've never seen before. What do you think of this, Angela?
So I disagree with you about the trailer. I was 100% on board when I saw the cast, all of the cast, Luis Guzman, Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Luis Guzman
was
probably the only one I was just like, cringe. I was just like,
I disagree with you. I was 100% on board with the cast, and then we also had other casts like Christina Ricci, Gwendolyn Christie.
I didn't have a problem with anyone else. Yeah.
So I was like 100% excited, like ecstatic, because I love all the cast, right? Going in, I know there's faces that I'm not familiar with, but the main ones that I've heard of so far, love them. Yeah. And so going into this, watching this, I was kind of like, how are they going to do it? Are they going to do it more playful, family oriented, or are they going to go a little bit more darker? Because I like the darker. Like, I know Netflix redid the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Yeah. And the 90s version was like sitcom, and then the Netflix version was like so much darker, totally different. And so I was kind of curious what direction they were going to go on, because the animations are more family
oriented. It really is.
Family
it's
fun.
Family. It's family.
Like all kids can enjoy. So I was very curious
how they're going to do this one.
We got a little bit of an aspect in the trailer, right? Like some parts that were dark, right? Yeah,
which is the piranhas, the swimming scene, which you got in the trailer. That's in the trailer, guys. Yeah.
I was really surprised that the direction they chose was darker, and I 100%, 1000% love it, because I love the darker elements. Like it's just like, it's so funny, and it doesn't lose its touch, its charm, its comedic style, because I mean, the Addams Family are so kooky and weird and strange, and it still has that charm still from all the characters, not just Wednesday, not just like Gomez, not just Pugsley, but all the characters. And so I enjoyed so much. I think the cast brought so much to the roles that they were cast in. Yeah. Loved it. And we got new characters too. Like, so it's Wednesday going to a boarding school.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. You know, follows Wednesday Addams' years as a student when she attempts to master her emerging psychic abilities and solve the mystery that solves the mystery that embarrassed her parents. So furthermore into this, you know, I expected a Addams Family show, and then when the trailer came out, it's called Wednesday, and I was like, okay, maybe it's the whole family. But no, this is a strictly based story off of Wednesday Addams, of her story, of her going to school, of her going to high school, and
this special school for like outcasts, right? Like the magical creatures, people who are a little different. And I love the school, to be honest. I really like that there was a school for that in this small podunk town. Yeah, that's like founded and like from pilgrims. It's really funny how the story unfolds. But I loved all the characters. Like when she goes to this school, her roommate, right?
Yeah. Oh man, the new best friend. Polar opposite. She is phenomenal.
Like Wednesday's black, dark, pale.
Emma Myers is the actress's name.
She is so funny.
She is the yin and yang of Wednesday, and I just love that because it shows how much colorful. It brings Wednesday out of her shell. That's why I loved more about this show, was that it showed so much in-depth development in the Wednesday characters I thought we would never need or wanted, but now I want. And we go back to the history of Christina Ricci's in here too, as well as she plays a teacher in here, and I just love how she's actually like, you know, it's recognized like, oh my god, it's Christina Ricci, oh my god, she's like the original Wednesday, or like the remake of the Wednesday, and knowing where all that comes from, those elements, I just loved it. And let's recognize an all Latin cast for the Addams Family. Recognize that. That is beautiful. You know, Jenna Ortega did this interview, and she was just like, you know, Latin or Latinos recognition here, and she mentions like, this is an amazing improvement from Hollywood's perspective here, knowing where Tim Burton was pushing for that, and knowing was the creative side was pushing for that. They were pushing for an all Latin cast. This is really remarkable. And she talks about it so much. She says Hollywood's come a far way, but we still need to stick that further. We still need to go further and reach those elements, reach that talent that hasn't been discovered yet. Yeah. You know, and I love that.
I absolutely love the cast again. Like, Addams Family cast, great. Yeah. And
Morticia, I never thought, and Morticia, like, she had a more development in herself as well.
All of them did. All of them did. So I know the show is Wednesday Addams, right? Yeah. So all about Wednesday. But you get development from most of the family.
I would think a little bit, not too much of Pugsley or Pugsley,
but you could. But it's more like you see the dad, you see Morticia, you see even Thing. Hand.
Oh my god, let's talk about that. Yeah, so Thing is actually we'll talk about the spoilers at the end. But Chris, we gotta talk about the principal here, which we all know her from Game of Thrones.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah, Gwendolyn Christie, she is great, phenomenal. I loved her in Game of Thrones. I thought she was useless, used very poorly in the Star Wars. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I thought she was used very poorly in the Star Wars universe as Captain Phasma.
I will say her as Captain Phasma was amazing. What they did with Captain Phasma's character was I didn't like that.
But anyways, going into this, you know, as the principal here, we got a little bit more acting chops from her, man. It was really good. I liked it. I really did. I liked it. We also got some familiar faces that we've seen from Big Bang Theory.
I know she's done other stuff. That's where I recognized her from. Yeah. The therapist, I think, Ricky Lindholm.
Yeah.
Lindholm, so I know she's on like one episode of Big Bang Theory. Yeah. And I love Big Bang Theory, so she stood out right away. So I mean, I really enjoyed the overall character. I enjoyed the character of Wednesday Addams, what they did with her character, and how they showed her like you say, development. She had a character arc that was, my gosh, so good.
And it's rare that a TV show does this, or a movie that really has me guessing like, oh, is it him? Is it him? No, it's him. And we were literally like discussing amongst ourselves while we're watching the show. We're just like, we can't figure out. And every end of the episode, it just left you wanting so much more and gets you just like, oh my God, who is it? And granted, though, I mean, some people said it was a little predictable, and I was like, no. I mean, I get it.
It throws you off, which is you're supposed to, right?
Yeah.
But again, I absolutely love the cast. The chemistry of the cast was great. There were moments that Jenna Ortega was just so phenomenal. The iconic dance scene at their Raven.
So that dance scene, actually, she went on her Instagram story, and fun fact is that it was inspired by actual goth famous dancers, and she took all those elements and she shared on her story. Again, stories are only 24 hours on Instagram, and she collaborated it all together and just used that as inspiration to play what came out. And I love that when artists really portray the art that they're putting out. It's really done very well.
And I read that she actually learned how to play the cello before filming.
That was great.
She took up archery lessons and pencil lessons. So
authenticity here. I mean, the passion for this project. Jenna Ortega, she even said it in an interview or a comment, I believe. She said, for some reason, Hollywood just likes throwing blood on me, and we see that in X. If you haven't seen X, I mean, obviously, it's been on for a long time.
Who could hate Jenna Ortega? But, come on.
I mean, Jenna Ortega taking a shotgun to the head in X was just brutal, but it was just she even said it. She's just it just looks good on me. Blood looks good on me, and I love that we get to see that a little bit more in this series as well. We get to see more of a darker element as well, like you mentioned already. But also her facial expressions are just so brilliant, especially when there's times where she's actually doing something so mischievous and so evil and so diabolical, and she's loving every minute of it. She smiles, she smirks,
and it's funny because her character itself doesn't have a lot of expressions to begin with.
Yeah,
but you see the change in it as she's doing certain scenes, as her character's going through certain things. Coming out of her show. So you see a change, and you see her get more emotional and, start to care. And you see, and it's just so wonderful. She does it so, and it's just subtle, so much subtle changes with her. Love it. Again, I cannot say how much I loved her performance in this.
Because I know you liked Tyler in this series a lot, and I know that's your favorite character. Not really.
I loved the roommate.
Oh, okay. See, I mean, I would agree with you too. She really
was great.
Yeah.
Aside from Wednesday, which obviously is my favorite.
Which is the favorite.
But aside from her, my favorite would have to be probably Enid, because she was so funny. Yeah. She was so colorful, so fun. I wish I had a friend like that.
She really pushed herself out of it, and it's in the trailer too. Is that I know you loved it as much because you are a cat person. How they were the black cats, and there's this one scene. It's she's telling Wednesday, "Where's your whiskers?" She's like, "I'll die or something if I wear it." And I love those. That's the thing about this whole series, is that she throws out these one-liners that are just I'll die before I sing, and she's all my death couldn't come any sooner. Oh great, I have to die. It's just those one-liners that are just so intriguing and so unorthodox,
morbidly funny. It's a dark humor.
It's so unorthodox. It's so and essentially of its own. It's so random. It's a random saying. It's something you would not expect someone to say when they're about to die, or oh great, I'm gonna die like this, or oh great, death couldn't take me now. And it's just one-liners that it's complete opposite here. And also I did love the school element, how we got more in description of it's funny because every school has their own posse, and I like that we got that with this one too. We got more,
that even though they're outcasts, they really are normal, a high school. It's you have your cliques, right? The people, your friends, they're up to, no good and stuff. So it's so funny to see how
let's of course mention Eugene, which is another actor.
I love Eugene.
Another actor, and he was great. I loved his characters here, his character arc. I loved it so much. I was just rooting for him. I was just no, don't do this. Don't do this to this poor kid.
Don't go by alone.
Yeah, don't go out anywhere alone. Obviously, that's rule number 1. We get to see a little bit of development with him, and I like that because his relationship between Wednesday is so great and so rich and so pure in itself, to where he reminded me of Pugsley, and so it and even Pugsley, I remember Pugsley mentions I I miss you torturing me. And just, you have those elements that it's so relatable. They really are. They're so relatable when it comes to friendships, new friendships, when it comes to very rich friendships, when it comes down to, you know, brother and sister love. We get to see that a little bit here. We also get to see more of like, oh, Wednesday's not in the end with what's going on right now. And I like that. So it's actually, this Wednesday series is actually happening in our current time, which they do acknowledge
so it's
here.
Like,
so yeah,
you know, making TikToks and all about the texting and you know.
But obviously, because of the circumstances she's under and because of who's the characters they are, they're not in the how into social media. And I like that. I like that a lot, though. I really do. I like that element because it shows us there's definitely going to be development here. There's definitely going to be, wait, she's going to be interested eventually or she's not. I'm happy with that too. You know, Wednesday, and that's the thing, is that the relationship between her mother is so real. I kind of felt like that relationship, and even with her dad, is just like, I think she says 2 antelopes have more control than you guys, and it's just so, it just comes down to, it's so pure. Yeah, it's so pure. The script, I thought the script was just great word choice here, great one-liners, and Jenna Ortega delivered it beautifully. I'll say that. But yeah, definitely I'd recommend this trailer, guys. Definitely recommend.
What would you rate it?
Oh man,
I would give it a solid 9 because literally as soon as we finished it, I wanted to rewatch it.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna have to, if it's over. See, for me, again, that's just my personal opinion here. If I have to rewatch a series, or if I feel like I have to rewatch it because I loved it so much, I kind of feel like I have to give it over a 9. In all respect and everything, I feel like a 9.3 will be justified here, just because I love Jenna Ortega. I love where she's coming from. She came from Scream. She's in X. She's coming a long way. She really has. This actress is here to stay, and I'm excited to see where her growth is. She is more than capable enough to deserve that Oscar trophy. She really is, and she's proved it to me time and time again. Adriana told us that she's from Disney's. She's a Disney Channel girl, and so like. But
I think that was after our time, after we stopped watching.
Well, it was before. It
was after we stopped watching it. We were pretty grown after that.
Grown, yeah.
Not something we kept in touch with. So I personally didn't see her in her Disney Channel days. Yeah. But I've loved her in what she's been in so far, like as far as movies and other shows. Yeah. And I really can't wait to see what's in store for her next.
And I also loved Bianca. I loved Xavier too. They were really good character arcs for each other, because I can't wait till next year. I'll leave it at that. We can't wait. And put on comments down below. What did you think of this review, guys? What did you think of this Wednesday series? What would you rate it? A 9, right? I rated 9.3. Question is for you guys. What did you think? Did you love this review? Did you love this series, or were you just against it? You're like, guys, you guys are crazy. What are you talking about? Put on comments down below, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Explore Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, the Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Check you later, San Antonio. Stay safe.